What's up, y'all? Welcome to the vlog, Aggie Out Loud. So, this is gonna be an interesting video. Now, I have done, hopefully y'all can hear me because I got my phone like a different way. I have done a video on the missing 411, but it was a while ago, and so I wanted to do an update on it. Now, if you're not familiar on missing 411, there's a gentleman by the name of David Pilates, and he used to be a police officer near Yosemite, and he kept hearing about these cases of people that just vanished, just disappeared without a trace, leaving no evidence of anything, just absolutely vanished. And he kept hearing about these cases. He kept getting these cases, and it started to bother him because he kept getting so many cases about children and adults that are going missing, that are just disappearing in national parks and places like that, that he ended up starting to do some research on it and made a few calls and kept getting the runaround and never getting a complete, full answer or any accurate information about anything. And so I've taken some notes. Now, once again, I'm getting this new vlogging camcorder camera. It's one of the top 10 of 2015. Once I get that, which is a huge blessing, by the way, and I've said that before, but I had to say it again. Once I get that, my videos will be a lot more clearer, a lot more polished and professional. And then in January, when I get my other equipment, I'll be able to have the graphics and add all of the graphics so you'll be able to see what I'm saying. But for right now, this is what I'm able to do. So let's move on to the point I'm making with this story. So I've made a lot of notes on this. Once again, I have already done a previous video on missing 411. But I'm just going to get right into my notes, which will tell you a lot of information if you haven't heard about this, or what you have heard has been limited. So I'm just going to delve right into it. National parks exposed, hundreds missing. Most of the cases of children or adults that go missing, most of them happen around Yosemite. The National Park Service is covering it up. Missing 411 by David Pilates, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his last name, is the main person that's trying to expose what's really going on in these parks and in these popular mountain areas. And so he wrote a book called Missing 411, and it's actually a pretty interesting book. So I'm gonna just move on because all of my notes have a lot of information. All of the possibility. Now, these are cases where all of the possibilities of the disappearance being due to an animal attack, or a possible suicide, or of them possibly falling in a river, or being abducted. All of these cases, all of these possibilities have been ruled out. It could not be any one of these possibilities because they have already been ruled out. There is no record of any missing person in the National Parks database system. Oh, it gets better. And any requests for the Freedom of Information Act documents regarding this information are being suppressed. And when requested by a published author, who is mainly David Pilates, because he's the main person, like I said, that's really trying to get this information out there. He's done TV interviews. You can look him up. I'm gonna just keep going because there's a lot of information. When he has requested this information, hold on, I lost my spot. Hold on. Okay. Millions of dollars. He's told that he has to pay millions of dollars in document fees before he ever will get this information sent to him. And almost all of these cases, the government is flat out refusing to release any information. Criminal activity is suspected, which also is against the law if no criminal activity is suspected. It's against the law, so they cannot demand millions of dollars or any amount if there is no criminal activity suspected. But that's what they're doing, and they're getting away with it. Most of these cases also involve search and rescue dogs that, when given the scent of the individual that's missing, refuse to search. So when these dogs are giving the scent of the person, all of them, not just one or two out of all of these cases, every single one of these dogs either cannot pick up the scent at all whatsoever, or just flat out refuse to search for the scent of the person that is missing. On the occasion that one of these individuals has been found and alive, it's often in parts where military and search teams have searched for days. They're found with their clothing removed, a fever, and with a mental disability of some kind that they did not have when they went missing, when they disappeared. I'm just looking at my notes here. The people, in all these cases, the people that have disappeared have been of all ages, children, adults, elderly, and of all ethnicities. Some of the most prominent disappearances are in Yellowstone, Yosemite, Crater Lake, Lake Tahoe, Kings Canyon, Rocky Mountains, Great Smoky Mountains, and more. The cases are not of abductions, but of individuals who have completely vanished. There are 35 cluster areas in the United States where the most have been identified, and no clues on their disappearances have ever been found. The National Park Service also does not keep any sufficient findings on these vanishings, and in fact seems to be hiding this information from the public. Now, David Paulides has written 3 books so far on this. One is called Missing 411, Western U.S. Another one is called Missing 411, Eastern U.S. And then another one is called Missing 411, North America and Beyond. So if you have time after this video, look them up, and it'll tell you some more information as well. These disappearances, and these are disappearance cases that date back to over 125 years. The year 2013 saw more national park disappearances than in the past 27 years combined. After doing some research myself, I found that typically a search is initiated with these cases, but then after 10 days, the searches are always called off. 50% of the children that are found dead, and the ones who aren't are found miles away in places where they could not have gotten to on their own. In a lot of the children cases, the children had dogs with them when they disappeared, only for the dogs to be found later and the child still missing. The children that have been found alive, none of them will talk about their experiences or will simply just say they don't remember what happened to them. And all of them appear to have been traumatized. When it comes to the children cases, all the parents whose child went missing have said it was when their child was literally right behind them. And this is my last page, because there's going to be 2 parts to this video. When they're found without their shoes, most of the time without any clothes on. And for them not to have their shoes, all of their feet, with all of the children's feet or the adults' feet, whoever has been found alive, 9 out of 10 does not have any clothes on, like I just said. They don't have their shoes on their feet, but their feet show no signs of any scratches or bruising or anything. Many of the places where these disappearances are taken, many of the places where these disappearances have taken place carry the name of Devil's Gulch, Devil's Lookout, Devil's Lake, Devil's Punch Bowl. In 95% of these cases, strange bad weather always follows the disappearances. In 98 to 99% of these disappearance cases, tracking dogs, and I have said this before in this video, but I'm just going to say it again. In 98 to 99% of these cases, tracking dogs are unable to find a scent or simply just refuse to trace. Almost 98% of these disappearances happen in the afternoon, in broad daylight, people, and all within areas that had been searched over 100 times by military and search teams. And in some cases, after these areas had been searched over 100 times, the child will just, out of absolutely nowhere, just show up physically. When David Pilates called the National Park Service requesting information on these cases, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my spot. He was told they don't keep any records of the disappearances, only to have a lawyer call him later to ask why he was requesting this information, and was told that if he wanted to get this information, it would cost him $1.4 million. Okay, so this is part 1 to what I'm going to title this video as National Parks Exposed, Hundreds Missing. Now, like I said, I've said this twice in this video, I have already done and researched. I've already done a video on this and researched this. I think the video was over 6 months ago. It has been a while. But with all things that I researched that have to do with the government, conspiracy theories, or cases such as this, I will always go back a few months down the road and see if there's any updated information that has to do with any of these cases or with any of the other topics that I've brought up in my previous videos. So I know some of y'all are thinking by now, okay, Aggie, what is your view on what's going on with these people that are disappearing into thin air? What's your take on it? Well, I don't know what's going on with these people that are disappearing. I do know that there are documented, proven cases of vanishings in, like, eyewitness accounts of people just completely vanishing into thin air as if they walked into a portal into another world. The problem with this story is that, or with these cases pertaining to the national parks and places like that, is that there's clusters where hundreds are going missing, are disappearing, and never to be seen or heard from again to this day. So that takes it to like another level. So because you're going from a couple documented cases that have been proven to have occurred to hundreds of clusters. So it's like not even in the same ballpark. So hold on, my thing's falling. I'm sorry. Oh, that's the pillow. Okay, I'm sorry, that's my finger. So what do I think is going on? Like I said, I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. I just bring you the stories. Could it be UFOs? Possibly. Could it be a government cover-up? Possibly. Could it be Bigfoot? Well, for those who believe in Bigfoot, I guess that could be a possibility too. But regardless, it's pretty scary when you've got clusters of people that are disappearing without a trace. So this isn't to scare people, and I know you're like, wait a minute, what, really? Like, how can you not be afraid? This is really just to make you aware, you know, just like what's going on with what happened in Paris recently. You know, we can't live our lives in fear. We can't not leave our homes. But it's just to make you aware. So, you know, if you have any trips planned within the next few weeks or in the future that have to do with going to a national park or the mountains, just be aware of your surroundings and who's around you. Now, the problem with that, however, is that, like I stated earlier, when these people are going missing, at least when the cases of the children are going missing, it's always happened when the child was like directly behind the parent, and the parent just happened to look away for just a moment, and now their child has vanished. So you can't win, right? So it's like, what do you do? So, like I've stated before, I do vlogs every day, but I also am a very big researcher, and I research until I feel like I've gotten enough facts to bring it to y'all. And this is actually very, very well known. You can go on Google and type in missing 411 and then find your own way of wording it, or you could Google or even YouTube clusters of people go missing in national parks. I mean, however you want to word it, you will find lots of information on this. This is actually very well known, and it's just really sad. And what's even more sad is that the one person that's making this like their full-time job to try to find out and get some answers to, he's coming up against a brick wall. And every year he gets more cases, but you're not going to hear about these cases on your mainstream media. You're not going to turn on Fox News or CNN and hear anything about this, because this is something that they are trying to not get out to the public. And so far, it has worked. So, if there's anything that you want to add to this video about this, please leave it below. Like I said, this is going to be one of two, well, actually one of three, because like I said, I had already done a previous video on this, so this would be the second one. And then I'm going to do some more about this tomorrow in tomorrow's vlog, which would make number 3. So, leave your comments below what you think could possibly be going on. At this point, though, there's really not many options left other than it possibly being UFOs or some type of government cover-up. So let me know your thoughts. I am interested in what y'all think it could be and what y'all think could be going on. But this is stuff like this that I find interesting. Stuff that can't be explained away. Stuff that is very eerie and very interesting. So with that said, if you have any stories that you've come across in the news that can be proven, that has been proven to have happened, please leave it below. And if you can, because it would really help me, leave a link or somewhere that you know for a fact that if I go there, that if I went there, I could find some information on that story. And then that's all I need, because I'm going to research it on my own. And I actually have certain places that I do that research at online that I'll keep to myself, because I'm able to get a lot of information that way. But anywho, I'm going to go on and end this. This is, what's today? Today is Sunday. So this is Sunday's vlog. But y'all know with my cell phone, until I get this equipment, it's going to take a while to upload. But let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel. Aggie Out Loud. Like and share. And I'm out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.